explain something, that I have said repeatedly that none of these positions are anybody's birthright.
Right.
I have said that I don't have to be SG of ODM. In fact, it has been the honor of my life that I got to be Raila's last SG. And I served him faithfully for 8 years. This is my 9th year as SG of ODM. I have been supported greatly from all across the country by members of ODM because you need their support to be able to do this job. And there's stories I have for days. I don't know if you have the time. One of the stories that I don't believe I have told is that I have said publicly, I don't have to be SG, but you have to follow the constitution of ODM to replace an SG.
Yes.
There is Edwin Sifuna has responded to Rigathi Gachagua on the death of Raila Odinga, the late. Edwin Sifuna has been with and by Raila Odinga all his life. If not Raila Odinga, Edwin Sifuna will have not been Edwin Sifuna that we know now. Raila Odinga has raised many people. Babo Wino, Edwin Sifuna, Junet Mohammed, all those people, they have been raised by Raila Odinga. But now, after claims that Raila Odinga was terminated, was killed by Ruto from his former deputy, Rigathi Gachagua. I've seen men online saying, oh, Rigathi Gachagua ndiye anasema na ndiye alikuwa ameweka mitego katika State House. Yes, Gachagua alikuwa ameweka mitego, hakuwa ameweka mitego ya kuua Raila. Gachagua hakuwa ameweka mitego ya kushika Raila na kumumeimu na kumchapa na kumpiga tear gas. Gachagua hakuwa ameweka mitego ya kuua Raila na kumpeleka Pondo. The only person who promised to take Raila permanently in Pondo is Ruto. Gachagua did not promise any way that I will take Raila to Pondo. Those were just politics. That was politics on play. The only person ambaye kuna grudge, mtu ambaye lazima atoe, tunahitaji mtu ambaye lazima revenge ni Ruto. Anaeka kitu kwa Ruto. He revenged. He killed Raila. You know and I know. Edwin Sifuna, the man who was with Raila all through, who regarded him as a father, spoke at an interview. Alizungumza kuhusu vile ambavyo Raila Odinga amemlea kama mtoto wake. Amemwonyesha njia za siasa. Edwin Sifuna himself akamweka kama katibu wa chama cha ODM, the oldest party ambayo imeisha sasa. Akamweka kama minority leader katika bunge la Seneti. Akampa gari. Na akamweka kama mtu ambaye ana usemi wa chama. Nakumbuka Raila akithibitisha kwamba Sifuna speaks for the party. I want us to listen to Sifuna. I want you to take your time. Listen to this interview. And now know who is this Sifuna. You know Sifuna is Baba. Sifuna is Raila Odinga, if you don't know. Sifuna is Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga's spirit just went to Sifuna directly. Because he did not betray Raila Odinga. He even said it during the funeral. Akasema, Baba, I will never betray you. I better die, but I will never go against your will. You see, Junet Mohammed, Gladys Wanga, the ancestor of Oburu Odinga, they disappeared. Or Simbarati, the very useless governor, disappeared. With Raila Odinga's legacy, Raila Odinga's party, Joe and the rest of you and I, those things. Now let's listen to His Excellency Edwin Watenya Sifuna.
Let me give credit where it is due. There is one promise Mr. William Ruto made to the people of Kenya, and he has delivered 100%. Congratulations, Mr. President. Mr. Ruto, you promised to permanently retire the late Prime Minister, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, in Bondo and finish ODM. You have succeeded in both. Odinga is permanently retired in Boro, and ODM is no more. There are many prominent deaths that have occurred in Kenya, and they have not been resolved.
We have more radio stations than political parties in Kenya. Ukinifukuza kwa moja, nitatokelezea ingine. And, I want to thank you for very quickly stepping in, because there are conversations that have to be had.
Indeed.
And I am sure the irony is not lost on Kenyans that, you know, there was a time in this country when we used to have only one media house. And it was during the KANU days, you know. So who knew that we would find refuge as people who believe in democracy in a media station owned by an actual KANU orphan? So shout out to my chairman, Gidi. Asante sana. It's the biggest irony of today.
It's
but,
interesting how things play out.
Yes.
For sure. Karibu sana anyway.
Asante.
Thank you for coming this morning.
Asante sana. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. We're going to get into quite some things, but you know how we do it.
Yes.
Dennis is in a different country.
Where is he, by the way?
Okay.
I've actually missed him.
Yeah, Equatorial Guinea. I'm here.
Oh.
Yes.
Niambie.
To Equatorial Guinea. They've had a president for 47 years.
Yes.
Yeah. But let's go to the proverb. The moon does not fight the darkness. It simply shines.
Correct.
How would you interpret it?
Oh, I remember the story that Babu told. You know, they've been trying all sorts of ways to sow division and try and separate the Linda Mwananchi team. And I remember he was asked that question about me and him. You know, people don't know the backstories and the histories that we have. And I remember him saying that the sun and the moon do what the sun and the moon do. Yeah, in fact, they don't take anything from each other. Yeah. So what that proverb or the saying is, the moon just does its job. You know, it just shines.
Yeah.
So I think that's all I'm going to say about it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Makes
Staying
sense.
consistent.
Asante sana.
Asante. Let's do some housekeeping just to get some understanding. First of all, before we get into things, are you the ODM Secretary General?
Oh, I should have started by saying that I am the Sifuna, SG of ODM, Senator Nairobi, and the Deputy Whip of the minority in the Senate.
Okay.
Just for clarity's sake.
Yeah.
But no, you understand that that matter is live under the litigation of the courts. We are expecting a judgment actually on the 5th because certain decisions were taken by the party's National Executive Committee that I thought were unprocedural. And we moved the Political Parties Disputes Tribunal. In the initial instance, they told us that there exists within the constitution of ODM mechanisms for dispute resolution, which for me, I didn't really agree with what the PPDT said, because the internal dispute resolution mechanism is available not just for aggrieved individuals, but also for the party. If they had a dispute with me, they had also that responsibility to invoke that internal dispute resolution mechanism so that we could resolve it internally. They didn't do that. They took a decision that was adverse to my interest and threw me out essentially as, or purported to throw me out as Secretary General. So the PPDT in the initial instance, they told us that you guys go and try arbitration. So we write to the party and tell them we are invoking the arbitration clause, and they reject arbitration. They say that there will be no arbitration. So we went back to the PPDT to tell them, you guys told us to try arbitration. I have declared a dispute in accordance with your guidance. I proposed names of arbitrators, very seasoned professionals in the arbitration space. What the Constitution requires is you agree on who the arbitrators are going to be. So I proposed 3 names. They were supposed to propose names, and then we agree, let's have these 3 arbitrate the dispute. They rejected that. So I had no option but to go back to the PPDT. So as it stands today, Sifuna is still the SG of ODM. And I want to explain something, that I have said repeatedly that none of these positions are anybody's birthright. I have said that I don't have to be SG of ODM. In fact, it has been the honor of my life that I got to be Raila's last SG. and I served him faithfully for 8 years. This is my 9th year as SG of ODM. I have been supported greatly from all across the country by members of ODM because you need their support to be able to do this job. And there's stories I have for days. I don't know if you have the time. One of the stories that I don't believe I have told is that I have said publicly, I don't have to be SG, but you have to follow the constitution of ODM to replace an SG. Yes. You have heard us calling for a national delegates convention where you can run whoever you want to run against Sifuna, and let the members of ODM decide that we are tired with Sifuna and we want somebody else to do the job. But they have not done that, you know. And we continue to insist as Linda Mwananchi that what we want is a leadership that has a mandate of the membership of ODM, that has a legitimacy. So let's have an NDC where all our positions are subjected to competition. I have no problem. You can run whoever it is you want to run against me, and if they win, let them do the job of SG. Okay. But the reason why we are fighting, and people need to understand, the reason why we're fighting is the party has certain rules and the constitution of a party is there. Now, when Oburu was appointed as a party leader, yes, you know, I was not there. I had gone to India, Mumbai. We were on that flight that brought Baba back home, and after the burial, and you know, there was a meeting we held at Chungwa House, which is a party headquarters, prior to the first central committee that he chaired. And I remember we sat there as two men in Raila's office, you know, the party leader's office. And I told Oburu, you know, you have publicly called for my removal. There was an incident after the meeting in Kakamega. There was this stormy meeting in Kakamega, which, you know, Oburu tells a different version. Because when I went to Kakamega, I was actually the target of a heckling. They had planned that there'd be people saying certain things there, and I'd be heckled in front of my party leader and so on and so forth. But it backfired. But to hear Oburu tell the story, he says that I arranged for those people to be there to say that they love Sifuna. Mind you, you know, I was born in Kakamega. Yes. I grew up in Kakamega. I went to school in Kakamega. My wife is from Kakamega. My mother is from Kakamega. Those are my people. I don't need to arrange anything in Kakamega. So after the Kakamega meeting, Oburu was speaking somewhere, I think in Siaya, in a church or something. I said, oh, you know, this Sifuna is such a small person. If we wanted today, we would kick him out. Right. So that is the context in which we are having this conversation at Chungwa House. And I tell him, Senior, you know, I have a lot of respect for you. You have publicly expressed opinions that suggest that you're not very comfortable with me being in this position. And I told him that the relationship between the party leader and the Secretary General is so intimate that if there are any tensions between us, probably it won't work. Right. And I want to know from you today, do you still hold those feelings? Yeah. And Oburu says, no, you know, first of all, I was upset with what happened in Kakamega. I thought that the people who spoke were a bit disrespectful to Raila. They were not my people. I'm not the one who told them to say those things, you know. And he says, I didn't plan to be party leader. I have found myself in this situation because of circumstance. Nobody would have predicted the death of Raila. But we need each other to be able to go through this difficult period to transition the party and let bygones be bygones. And we shake hands. You did? Because I told him, if you still feel that way, I will give you my letter of resignation today. Okay. Yeah, because the bigger interest is not Sifuna being SG, is for the party to progress. Because I honestly, what I say that Raila's burial is something that I actually believe in. That I believe that ODM is one of Raila's biggest legacies as a person who believed in multi-party democracy, as a person who actually fought for multi-party democracies. He believed that political parties need to be strengthened. They need to be perpetual. Like he said it himself, that the party needs to survive all of us. You know. So I meant it, you know. So it's not about Sifuna. It's not about Sifuna. I was prepared to give Oburu a letter and say, let me give you an opportunity to pick an SG that maybe you guys can vibe.